Today on Winthrop Close Up, find out why Winthrop graduation will be different in 2016.
And bystanders need to be aware. Learn more next on Close Up.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. My name is Zach Rager.
And I'm Crystal Thomason. College students are well aware of potential crime on campus. However, awareness is not the only thing students need to keep themselves and their peers safe. Reporter Emily Gill shares what you need to know.
Bystander awareness or intervention is merely helping in a bad situation. That may be stepping into a conversation or calling 911.
To do bystander intervention, to help people know how to recognize behaviors and then also to know what to do and to keep themselves safe as that unfolds.
Aside from lack of knowledge, Miranda Knight believes distractions get in the way of helping our neighbors.
We've got our phones, we've got our headphones, we've got our music, we've got our tablets, and we need to pay attention. So that's the first step in bystander intervention, is noticing an event.
The school recently saw the effects of good bystander awareness.
Late one night in the spring of last year, a student was returning to her dorm room through this alley. As she walked under the breezeway, a man jumped out and attacked her. When she screamed, her cries were heard by her fellow students who also lived in her dorm. They called the police, and because of their quick actions, the police almost immediately apprehended the perpetrator.
RAs specifically are taught about bystander awareness.
That's where they know they can rely on someone who has the experience and the training to help them handle a situation that they're not comfortable with handling themselves.
Emily Gill, Winthrop Close Up.
To learn more about bystander awareness, contact Miranda Knight at knightem@winthrop.edu. With campus safety in mind, students have started a petition for an emergency phone to be placed in the Margaret Nance parking lot. The petition was created after an armed robbery in the area this week. Students believe an emergency phone is necessary in the area because of this incident and a sexual assault in the same location last year. The petition currently has almost 850 supporters.
While many students are looking for safety on campus, others are fighting for equality. While most people know to avoid four-letter words, those aren't the only words that can offend. Reporter William Richard explores why so many are fed up with the R word.
Earlier this month, Winthrop students came together to end the R word.
Okay, well, the R word stands for retarded, and what the campaign slogan is respect is the new R word. A lot of times people throw the R word around just as being funny, just as like they were to say, oh, well, that's gay. People say, well, that's retarded.
Often looked over by students, one Winthrop senior knows the impact of the seven-letter word.
It's disrespectful to everyone on campus, and they should never use it because it's really bad to use. It's like a cuss word.
This year was the second In the R Word rally at Winthrop University. Students not only got to listen to first-hand experiences of a parent, but also a student. And at the end, they got to come together to sign a pledge to end the R Word.
I signed the pledge because I really value respecting people and making them feel comfortable. There's no reason that anyone should feel uncomfortable right now. So if there's anything I can do personally to make someone feel at ease, I'm going to do it. So that's why I signed the pledge.
For more information or to sign the pledge, visit www.rword.org. William Richard, Winthrop Close Up.
Here at Close Up, we all pledge to end the R word inside and out of our studio. Up next, learn how Winthrop ended one of its biggest sports rivalries. Winthrop Close Up. Having friends is great, but a little rivalry is even better. Last month, the Winthrop men's basketball team took on their rival Coastal Carolina for the last time in conference play. Coastal will be leaving the Big South to join the Sun Belt Conference starting next season. As Winthrop and Coastal battled one last time, the Eagles finished on top, beating the Chanticleer 79-67.
With March in full swing, Winthrop basketball players were hoping to be a part of the big dance for the first time since 2010. Reporter William Richard caught up with the team last month.
As calendars turn to March, the sports world turns its attention to the NCAA tournament, otherwise known as the Big Dance.
It's something I've always dreamed about. I always want to play college basketball, but then, everyone wants to make it to the Big Dance, and I think we can do it. And if we can get there, It's going to be just an amazing experience, something I'll remember forever.
In addition to winning a championship, head coach Pat Kelsey knows the biggest prize is the experience of a lifetime.
To be able to walk into those venues and experience those things, and look to my right and look to my left, and look at these young men that I've recruited and I brought into this program, to have them be able to come in eyes wide open, look around and see that and experience that, compete on the highest stage that our sport has, fires me up more than anything.
Here at the Coliseum, the Eagles are working towards a goal that hasn't been accomplished in 6 years, making the NCAA tournament. Winthrop looks to become Big South champions for the first time since 2010.
Sometimes you can just tell there's something special with this team, and we're on a roll, we're getting hot, we can score with anyone, we're fast paced, so I just think there's something special there. What it is just hopefully what it takes us to get us over the hump.
This year's Big South tournament takes place March 3rd through the 6th at Campbell University in Bowies Creek, North Carolina. For more information, visit BigSouthSports.com. William Richard, Winthrop Close Up.
Winthrop was eliminated in the Big South Conference Championship game this past weekend, which means title hopes will have to wait until next season. From everyone here at Winthrop Close Up, we appreciate all of your hard work and dedication and want to congratulate you on an amazing season. While basketball season winds down, Winthrop hosted a variety of teams in last month's Winthrop Adidas tournament. The 2016 Winthrop Adidas softball tournament hosted 6 teams from around the Southeast. During the 3-day event, the Eagles put their 10 home game winning streak on the line. Through 4 games, the Eagles finished a perfect 4-0, meaning the Eagles have won their last 14 games at Terry Field. We wish much success and good health to our Lady Eagles this season. Speaking of health, Winthrop Close Up is proud to present the first installment of our mini-series, Fitness for You.
Throughout the series, we will be showcasing classes and workout tips for a healthy living. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you after the break.
It's usually high energy, no breaks in between. We do about 12 to 13 songs. We start with a warm-up, and in between we do high intensity. We might come back down a little lower, a lot of dancing, a lot of fun, and then we end with a cool-down song, which brings back down the heart rate, and we stretch it out. And throughout the entire course, it's just dances that are repetitive, but also not monotonous. The dances are to music that is hip-hop, pop, things that people are, used to hearing. And so that already elevates their mood, gets them really excited because it's songs that they're used to hearing, and then having a dance choreographed to it is also really, really fun for everyone.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. Ever wonder if there was a name for schools where everyone goes home on the weekend? They're called suitcase schools, and Winthrop is one of them. Emily Gill shows us the connection.
Winthrop students go home in droves on the weekend, but many students don't know that before coming to Winthrop. He pointed out to you?
I noticed that quite a few people, like my friends, would go home on the weekends, or just the campus would just not have as many people.
Students aren't exactly sure why they leave for the weekend so regularly.
Maybe Winthrop's kind of like a local school for a lot of people, so if they come to school because it's close to home, they might be more likely to go home. I live 3 hours away, so I'm not gonna spend that much money going home every weekend.
Going home every weekend isn't cheap. From Rock Hill to Columbia, it's 1 hour. From Rock Hill to Greenville is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Rock Hill to Florence is 2 hours. And Rock Hill to Charleston is 2 hours and 45 minutes.
It's really not even Winthrop itself, it's just Rock Hill, the city. There's nothing to do in Rock Hill. So, if you're gonna have to drive to go to Charlotte or drive to go some other place, might as well just go home and relax for a weekend and still have fun.
At least the parking is better for those that stay. Emily Gill, Winthrop Close Up.
To learn about events on campus, visit www.winthrop.edu/calendar. While many students head home on the weekends, one Winthrop sorority took advantage of their time as they ran through the colors to help raise awareness for the hearing disabled. Delta Zeta held an event on Winthrop's Lake in order to help raise money for their philanthropy, Starkey Strides. The event was a color run where the sisters would throw paint at participants at random stations around the lake. One dad of a Delta Zeta talked about his daughter's achievement.
Just beaming with pride. She does that kind of thing. She's a chaplain. She's just an all-around go-getter. And Dad's proud of her.
All of the money from the event went to help provide hearing aids to those who cannot afford them. Delta Zeta will be hosting more events in the future if you want to help support their philanthropy.
Some students are running for a cause. Many Winthrop seniors are running towards graduation. I bring you the story on how seniors will experience a change in the ceremony this May. Last semester, the university announced that the upcoming May undergraduate commencement will be split into 2 ceremonies, a decision with mixed reviews.
It's mostly about us, and we're the ones who are graduating, so I think that getting our input on it would be a good idea.
If it's more efficient for the university, that's great, but if you have to go to more than one ceremony, that kind of sucks for the people who are going to see it.
The College of Arts and Sciences and the College of Visual and Performing Arts will have their commencement at 10 a.m. The College of Business will join the College of Education later that day at 3. The split ceremonies were first announced in October. However, the times for both ceremonies were only announced earlier this semester.
Them notifying people sooner would have been a better idea because of if people have to travel and stuff.
Something was going to happen because of the size of the crowd. Either we were going to split the ceremony or we were going to go to tickets.
I'm here outside of Records and Registration, where each student is required to fill out this application form to graduate. The office uses these as records to determine how many in total will be graduating, as well as how many from each respective college.
So it puts them at almost an even numbers. We did VPA and Arts and Sciences in the morning because they will be the slightly larger ceremony.
Despite the shift in circumstances, there will be plenty of pomp for both commencements. So I don't know about you, but I'm definitely ready for graduation.
Oh yeah, I definitely can't wait. Everything's boxed up in my room, tapes on everything, and everything's labeled, so I'm just ready to roll on out of here as soon as I get that piece of paper.
Look at you being all prepared already.
I do what I can. All right, so that's all we have for today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Today on Winthrop Close Up, go behind the scenes to learn more about our roles behind the camera.
Ever wonder what it would be like to study abroad? Learn more next.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. My name is Crystal Thomason.
And I'm Zach Rigger. The Syrian refugee crisis has slowly slipped out of the public's mind, but it is still affecting America through the 2016 presidential election. Emily Gill tells us more.
The issues in Syria are a hot-button topic in politics today.
I think it's one of the larger topics that candidates feel that they can speak on and draw a side. They can get a large amount of opinions and carry them to their favor either way.
Political science professor Chris Van Aller believes this tactic is not as beneficial as presidential candidates may think.
To use the Syrian refugees as a kind of a political weapon in an election year is not a good thing, because we want the Islamic world to think that we're reasonably open to people in that area of the world who are experiencing terrible problems.
This book shows the geographical locations of various ethnicities across the United States. The fact that this book even exists proves the country was once willing to help immigrants, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. A political science major points out the hypocrisy of the U.S. mentality.
So it's kind of weird that we're going to back the rebels, and then when they try to come here, like, because their country is being like in civil war, we're like, nah, you can't come here.
Only votes can show what the American people actually want to do concerning Syria. Emily Gill, Winthrop Close Up.
There's no doubt that the refugee crisis will play a role in who becomes our next president. Sticking with politics, we're in the midst of primary season, where some candidates are on the rise and others are stepping out of the spotlight. After only winning 3 out of the possibly 600 delegates from Super Tuesday, Republican candidate Ben Carson decided not to attend the most recent GOP debate, stating that he did not see a political path forward. 2 days later, he officially suspended his campaign. The three remaining candidates on the Republican nomination include Ted Cruz, John Kasich, and Donald Trump.
This year's presidential race is sparking the conversation on international relations, and Winthrop is no different. While Fridays are usually when students take a break from work, many students are having global conversations. I bring you more on how Casual Friday isn't just for dress codes. 4 times a semester, the International Center hosts Casual Fridays, an opportunity for U.S. and international students to talk about common interests.
Casual Friday started in the fall of 2012, and we've had about 30 different ones.
The most recent Casual Friday featured a panel of those who have had intercultural relationships. Panelist Tara Simmons thinks this particular topic is crucial for the Winthrop community.
I think if we were able to know more about other cultures, we could be more accepting, and we would have just a broader mindset of the world and how things work.
Yeah, we have a very huge international population, but the United States has always been that way. It's what we were founded on, so we can't discriminate against what we started.
While at college, students are in the same environment for 4 years. But after graduation, you never know where the world might take you.
And I know that even if you don't leave the Carolinas, that you'll be working with people from all around the world.
With nearly 150 international students representing 38 countries, U.S. students can get that experience early on.
I'm really pleased with how diverse Winthrop is, with the amount of international students and just students that are from different cultures in general.
We really do want, as an institution, to put out global citizens.
From talking about video games to dating, it's easy to see how students can find common ground. The International Center will be hosting 2 more Casual Fridays this semester. For more information, stop by their office in Dinkins 218. Up next on Close Up, look behind the legalese and you might find a story. Learn more about investigating using documents.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. Students often wonder if the things they learn in class will prepare them for their future career. Students in the Reporting Public Affairs class have no need to wonder. Emily Gill brings us the story.
NPR's hit podcast Serial investigates a murder trial from 1999 and relies mainly on court documents. Mass Communication 441, or Reporting Public Affairs, does the same.
Advanced information gathering techniques. Things like looking up government documents, public documents, open records, doing FOIA requests, those sorts of things.
Senior mass communication major Hannah Strong believes the class has changed her reporting.
I think that's beneficial going out into this field because you want to not only always focus on your interviews, but also get more credible information from documents and sources like that.
Lots of research techniques are available to students. Aside from thousands of paper documents, including things like county business reports and Mariner's weather reports, the library also offers another option that most people don't know about: microfiche. These small documents can be blown up to their regular size using the microfiche printing and reading room in the library.
We have a lot of ERIC documents, which is an educational research clearinghouse, and we have a lot of those on microfiche going back to probably the 60s and 70s.
For mass communication students or anyone interested, there are stories to be discovered. Emily Gill, Winthrop Close Up.
To see government document investigation in action, visit serialpodcast.org. If you love investigative journalism or writing in general, there is good news. The Johnsonian is now hiring for multiple positions. Job openings for student publications include sports editor, assistant news editor, copy editor, staff writers, photographers, graphic designers, and ad sales representatives. Weekly meetings are at 6 p.m. on Sundays in the Student Publications office. For more information, email Carolyn Renix at renixc@mytjnow.com.
Over the years, Winthrop Close Up has become a home to young broadcasters looking to find their niche in the industry. Reporter William Richard gives you a backstage pass.
Inside Winthrop's halls are students waiting for their close-up.
Winthrop Close Up is, well, the technical definition is advanced television production class where you get experience in front of the camera and also behind. It's a weekly news show that we put on here at Winthrop's campus, doing sports, feature stories, and news in general.
As the capstone class for broadcast majors, students have the chance to work in front and behind the camera. Professor Mark Nortz believes this opportunity helps students figure out their future careers.
One of my
my favorite sayings that a student had was, the best thing about this class was not only did it show me what I wanted to do, but it definitely showed me what I didn't want to do. So by having them rotate through all these different positions, they can see what they definitely want to specialize in and what really isn't for them.
From editing scripts to being a floor director, students have plenty of opportunities to learn about positions inside news production. One week they could be behind the scenes, and the next, on the big screen.
I think just the switching up positions keeps you on your toes and all of that, and you get to appreciate the other positions. So maybe one week you're frustrated with what's going on in the studio, and then next week you're in the studio, so you understand that situation a lot more.
To keep track of shows and stories, watch every Friday on CN2 Extra, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up. William Richard, Winthrop Close Up.
If you would like to learn more about Close Up, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up. Now that you've taken an inside look, check out our second installment of Fitness for You as we show you how to do a correct lat pull down.
Hello, my name is Shalish Childress, and this is Fitness for You, and I'm going to be showing you how to do a proper lat pull down. In doing a lat pull down, you want to keep a good back flat, and you want to pull down, really contracting the latissimus dorsi. This workout is going to be working your lat, and of course a couple muscles also in your back. When doing this exercise, you want to focus primarily on the latissimus dorsi. That's the main area that's going to be strengthened. You can feel the contraction right when bringing down the elbows. You want to have the bar going as close to your chest as possible. This workout is one of the most popular workouts that people will use for back day.
So I think it's great the West Center has these free facilities for students.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great. I mean, summer's coming up soon, so everybody's trying to get ready and stay in shape and be healthy. So yeah, it's really great that there are all these free facilities for students to use.
Absolutely.
All right, well, stay with us, because up next we are taking a look at the Zika virus and how you can learn more about studying abroad. Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention warned pregnant women to avoid traveling to Latin America due to the outbreak of a mosquito-borne illness. Reporter Daniel James shows how you can protect yourself against the Zika virus.
According to the CDC, the mosquito-borne illness Zika is a possible threat to pregnant women, but less likely to impact the general public. Only 20% of those infected suffer any symptoms. Those who do experience flu-like symptoms that pass in about a week, but the main concern is potential birth defect microcephaly.
There has been an exponential increase in birth defects of mothers who may have contracted the virus when they were pregnant.
Microcephaly is a condition in which the baby's head is smaller than normal. It can cause seizures, delay in development, and lack of balance. As temperatures heat up, try to stay indoors with windows closed and air conditioning on. When going outside, the CDC recommends wearing long sleeves and to use a bug spray with at least 20 to 30% DEET as the active ingredient on both the skin and the clothing.
We are continuing the precautions we've always had for mosquito protection.
The good news is that chances of an outbreak in the U.S. are low.
There's a few reasons, though, why we don't expect there to be big outbreaks, like in the Carolinas, for example, and that's because we have municipal spraying programs, central air, basic sanitation that prevents these mosquitoes from being here.
There are 4 tests pending in South Carolina following trips to affected areas, but 11 tests in the state have already come back negative. I'm Daniel James, Winthrop Close Up.
Though Zika may not have a major impact on the U.S. thus far, protecting yourself is still highly recommended.
Even with the many dangers associated with traveling overseas, many students are looking to study abroad. The International Center hosted its biannual Study Abroad Fair. At the event, students were able to talk to representatives from different study abroad programs. Programs range from traditional semester and year-long programs to field visits led by Winthrop faculty members. So, I mean, I've never been able to do study abroad before. Have you been able to do it?
I actually went to Ireland last spring. It was definitely the best experience of my life.
That's really, really awesome. I mean, I haven't been able to do it since middle school. I went to Spain once, but yeah, never in college. So definitely wish I would have been able to do that. All right, well, that's all we have for the show today. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up, and we'll see you next week.